Be me, Jessica, 28 years old. Living in a 4-bedroom apartment with 3 roommates who honestly just don't get it. Been here for 8 months, and I've been patient, so patient. But enough is enough. Wake up this morning to find Mike left the toilet seat up again. Not just inconsiderate, it's symbolic of larger structural issues. Sarah used the term "you guys" yesterday when addressing all of us. Literally erasing non-male identities with her language. Tyler had some friends over last week. All dudes. Didn't even think to ask if we were comfortable. Spend all Sunday afternoon creating the framework for positive change. Print everything on cardstock at the office supply store. Splurge on the lamination. $47, but totally worth it. This is going to transform our living situation. Monday evening, wait until everyone's home. Hang the poster on the wall right next to the kitchen entrance where nobody can miss it. It's beautiful, color-coded sections, bullet points, even includes a QR code linking to supplementary reading materials. Revised community living guidelines for a more conscious household. Underneath in slightly smaller text, mandatory compliance effective immediately. Mike walks by, stops, stares at it. What's this? I'm ready for this. These are our new house rules. I've spent considerable time analyzing our household dynamics and identified several problematic patterns that need immediate correction. He's just blinking at me. Sarah comes out of her room still in scrubs, looking exhausted as usual. She works too much, but that's her choice, I guess. Jess, what is this? Here we go. Sarah, if you look at Section 2, subsection A, you'll see we're implementing a ban on gendered language. That includes terms like guys, dude, man, and other unnecessarily gendered terminology. We should be using folks, everyone, or y'all. She's reading the poster now. Tyler comes out too, backpack still on. Is this a joke? I cross my arms. No, Tyler, this isn't a joke. This is about creating a space where everyone can thrive without perpetuating harmful systems. Let me walk them through it properly. Section 1 establishes our weekly consciousness-raising sessions. Every Sunday evening, 7 to 9 p.m., attendance mandatory. We'll discuss privilege, power dynamics, and how we can improve as individuals and a household collective. Mike actually laughs. Literally laughs. You want me to go to what, like a meeting every Sunday? I have raid night on Sundays. Your video game raids can be rescheduled, Mike. This is more important. Section 1B notes that absent without legitimate cause will result in fines of $25 per session, which will go toward our household social justice library. Sarah is shaking her head. Jess, I work 12-hour shifts. Sometimes I work Sundays. I can't. Which brings me to Section 4. I interrupt, because I actually accounted for this. Chore assignments will now be determined by a matrix I've developed that accounts for relative privilege levels. Sarah, as someone with class privilege due to your nursing salary, you'll have additional responsibilities. Mike, as a cishet white male, you're obviously at the top of the privilege hierarchy, so you'll have the most intensive assignment list. Pull out my phone where I have the whole matrix worked out. Tyler, you're also male, but you get a modest reduction due to student status, though that's temporary. I've assigned myself the minimum baseline because I need to preserve my energy for the emotional labor of managing household dynamics. The 3 of them are just staring at me. This is the resistance I expected. Section 3 addresses guests. Any male identifying guests require a permission slip submitted 48 hours in advance via our household app. I'll be setting that up this week. The slip must include the guest's name, purpose of visit, duration of stay, and a brief explanation of why their presence is necessary. This will be reviewed by the household collective, majority vote required for approval. Permission slips, Tyler says flatly. Yes, it's about consent and safety. As someone who could potentially feel unsafe with unknown men in the space, this is a reasonable accommodation. Mike is reading Section 5 now. You've banned foods? I've been waiting to explain this part. Not banned, exactly. Section 5 establishes that certain food items carry problematic cultural baggage or contribute to harmful industries. No meat products that contribute to toxic masculinity's obsession with dominance over animals. No products from companies with documented ethical violations. There's a linked spreadsheet. No foods that appropriate other cultures without proper context and education. So no tikka masala from Trader Joe's, Sarah says, and I can't tell if she's being sarcastic. Correct. If you want to prepare Indian cuisine, you need to first engage with the colonial history, take time to understand the culture, and source ingredients appropriately. Otherwise, it's just extractive consumerism. Go stand in my doorway, arms crossed. I can see all of them from here, grouped around my beautiful laminated poster. This is a good feeling. I'm changing things, making a difference right here in my own home. They're reading it all now, seeing the full scope. There's a section on bathroom timings, Mike says. Yes, we need to be conscious of water usage and how long showers contribute to climate issues which disproportionately affect the global south. You've assigned me specific windows when I can shower? Assigned all of us, Mike. Don't make this about you. Tyler is looking at his phone. I'm texting my girlfriend about the permission slip thing and she thinks you've lost it. Your girlfriend isn't on the lease, Tyler. And actually, if you check Section 3, subsection C, that text could be considered a violation since you're discussing household business with an outside party without collective consent. Sarah just turns and walks back into her room. Doesn't even say anything, just leaves. That's fine. She needs time to process. Mike goes to the kitchen. I hear him opening the fridge. Jessica, where's my salami? I composted it this morning. Section 5, subsection F. Processed meats are non-compliant. He appears in the kitchen doorway holding the empty package from the trash. You threw away my food? I recycled the packaging and composted the contents, yes. Going forward, please reference the approved foods list before shopping. I've also cleaned out several other problematic items. There's a full inventory log in the shared folder I created. He's getting red in the face. Predictable. This is exactly the kind of defensive reaction people have when their unexamined privilege gets challenged. Go back to my room. This is going to take time. I know that. Change doesn't happen overnight. But I've created the structure. Now we just need to follow through. Sunday evening, 6:55 p.m. I've set up the living room for our first consciousness-raising session. Printed handouts, discussion questions, even made tea. Herbal, obviously. Coffee is exploitative. 7 p.m. comes. No one emerges from their rooms. I knock on Mike's door. Session's starting. Not coming! He doesn't even open the door. Tyler's room next. Tyler, we're beginning. Got a paper due tomorrow. He has not mentioned a paper all week. Sarah's door. Before I can even knock, I'm sleeping, Jess. I worked a double. Go back to the living room. Sit there until 7:30 with my handouts. Fine. That's $75 in fines total. Send a group text to the household chat. Fines for tonight's absences will be collected by Friday. Please leave cash in the jar I've placed on the kitchen counter labeled Community Growth Fund. Mike texts back immediately, lol no. Tyler, you can't fine us for not going to your made-up meetings. Sarah doesn't respond. This is going to require more direct action. Wednesday, I'm working from home. Mike has friends over. I can hear them. Emerge from my room around 3 p.m. to investigate. There are 4 guys in the living room playing video games. 4 male-identifying guests. 0 permission slips filed. Mike, can I speak to you? He doesn't pause his game. Kind of busy, Jess. You have unauthorized guests. Section 3 very clearly states. Yeah, I didn't read that. You didn't. Everyone needs to read the guidelines, Mike. That's the whole point. One of his friends, some guy with a beard. Are you the roommate with the crazy rules? They're not crazy. They're basic considerations for communal living. Mike finally pauses. Jess, I'm not getting permission slips for my friends. That's insane. This is my apartment too. Actually, if you check the lease agreement, we all have equal stake, which means you can't make up dictator rules, Tyler says. Didn't even hear him come in. He's got a huge bag from the grocery store. Starts unpacking it on the kitchen counter. Salami, ham, some kind of jerky, hot dogs. All prohibited items. Tyler, those are all non-compliant. Yeah, I'm aware. He's smiling. He's actually smiling while directly violating Section 5. Mike told me you composted his food, so I'm restocking. Also got some of that tikka masala you hate. This is deliberate provocation. This is incredibly disrespectful to the work I've put into. Hey Jess, Mike's friend with the beard again. Can you move? You're blocking the TV. I'm standing in the middle of the living room. This is my apartment too. But there are 4 of them and 1 of me. Go back to my room. I can hear them out there, laughing. Someone orders pizza. When the doorbell rings, I check the time. 6:47 p.m. No one consulted me about food delivery. Another violation. Text the household chat. Reminder that large food orders should be discussed collectively as per Section 5, subsection J. Also, Mike, your guests have now been here over 3 hours, which violates the maximum visit duration. Mike texts back, new phone who dis. Tyler sends a gif of someone laughing. Sarah, Jess, I'm trying to sleep before my night shift, please stop texting. This is absurd. They're acting like children. Friday evening. Come home from work. There are voices in the apartment, lots of them. Open the door. There are people everywhere. Count at least 12 guys. 12. Pizza boxes on every surface. Beer cans. Someone's music playing loud. The laminated poster is still on the wall, but someone's drawn a mustache on it. A mustache. On my carefully designed guidelines. Mike sees me. Oh, hey, Jess. We're having a little get-together. Want a beer? Mike, this is completely unacceptable. There are a dozen unauthorized male guests. Alcohol, which we never discussed. And is that pepperoni pizza? Yeah, and sausage. Want a slice? Tyler appears with Sarah. Sarah's not in scrubs. She's in regular clothes. She's actually participating in this. Sarah, you're enabling this? Jess, I work 60 hours a week. I come home to sleep and occasionally eat. I don't have energy for your whatever this is. She gestures at the poster. This isn't whatever, Sarah. This is about creating accountability. No, she says, and her voice is sharp now. This is about you deciding you're in charge of everyone. None of us agreed to any of this. We live in a community. Communities have standards. Standards we all agree on, Tyler interrupts. Not standards you invent and force on everyone else. One of the random guys. Hey, is this the permission slip thing? Bro, that's hilarious. Another guy. Should I have brought my hall pass? They're all laughing. All of these men, in my space, laughing at me. You know what? Fine. Enjoy your regressive little party. I'll be in my room. Mike, cool, thanks for the permission. More laughter. Stomp to my room. Can hear everything through the door. Someone says dude about 40 times in one conversation. Someone else keeps saying you guys. Every single banned phrase, they're using all of them. It's deliberate. It has to be deliberate. Around 11 p.m., someone starts chanting bros, and everyone joins in. Text the household chat. Quiet hours begin at 10 p.m. on weekends per the original lease agreement. Please respect this. Mike texts back. Cool story, bro. Tyler, thanks, man. Sarah, hey guys, can you keep it down actually? Jess is right about quiet hours. At least Sarah has some sense. It does get quieter after that. But I can still hear them. Still hear all these men who just showed up without any process, any consideration. Fall asleep angry. Saturday morning. Emerge from my room around 9 a.m. The apartment is destroyed. Pizza boxes, beer cans, some kind of chip dust ground into the carpet. The kitchen is a disaster. And the poster. My beautiful laminated poster. Someone's added annotations in Sharpie. Next to mandatory attendance, lol nope. Next to the permission slip section, this is psycho behavior. Next to my name at the bottom, Jessica is not the boss of us. They vandalized it. Spend 20 minutes trying to get the Sharpie off. It's permanent marker on lamination. It won't come off. Mike emerges around 10:30. Oh man, sorry about the mess. We'll clean it up. You'll clean it up? Mike, this is completely unacceptable. Last night was a direct violation of multiple sections. Jess, he holds up his hand. We need to talk, all of us. If this is about the fines, I'm willing to waive them if everyone commits to actually reading. It's not about the fines. Meet in the living room in 20 minutes. Something about his tone. He's never used that tone before. 20 minutes later, all 4 of us in the living room. They're all on the couch. I'm in the chair across from them. This feels wrong. The positioning feels wrong. So, Sarah starts. We've been talking, all 3 of us, and we think this isn't working out. Wait, what? What isn't working out? The guidelines? Because I'm open to feedback, we can workshop. Not the guidelines, Jess, you, living here. The room goes very quiet. What? Tyler's looking uncomfortable, but he speaks up. You've made this place miserable. The rules, the fines, throwing away our food, policing our language, our friends. It's too much. I'm trying to make things better. I'm trying to create consciousness and accountability. You're trying to control everyone, Mike says. There's a difference. I'm not. This is about basic respect for Jess, Sarah again, and she sounds tired. I respect you. I respect your politics, your beliefs, whatever, but you can't force them on everyone else. You can't make up rules and expect us to follow them just because you decided they're important. We live together. We have to have shared values. We have shared values, Tyler says. Don't be a jerk. Clean up your messes. Pay rent on time. That's it. That's what we need. That's not enough. That doesn't address systems of power. It doesn't create growth. We don't want the growth you're selling, Mike says flatly. Silence. They're all looking at me. United front. They planned this. So what? You're just going to kick me out? You can't do that. I'm on the lease. We talked to the landlord, Sarah says quietly. Since we're all month to month now after the first year, we can vote to remove someone with majority agreement. It's in the lease terms. 3 votes beats 1. Feel like I've been punched. You already talked to the landlord? This morning, Mike confirms. You have 60 days to find a new place, Tyler adds. We're not trying to leave you homeless or anything, but you need to go. Look at each of them. Sarah won't meet my eyes. Tyler looks uncomfortable. Mike just looks tired. This is because you don't want to examine your privilege. You're just comfortable with the status quo and anyone who challenges it. Jess, Sarah interrupts. This is because you threw away Mike's food without asking. Because you tried to fine us for not attending your meetings. Because you demanded permission slips for our friends. This isn't political. This is you being a bad roommate. Everything is political, Sarah. The personal is political. How we live, what we eat, how we speak. Then maybe you need to find roommates who agree with you about that, Mike says. Because we don't. Stand up. My hands are shaking. Fine. I'll find somewhere else to live. Somewhere with people who actually care about growth and change and not just video games and pizza and maintaining their comfortable little bubbles. Cool, Mike says. Go back to my room. Slam the door. Can hear them in the living room. Mike, that went better than I thought. Tyler, dude, I thought she was going to cry. Sarah, let's just clean up this mess. I've got work in 4 hours. Sit on my bed. They don't get it. They're never gonna get it. Some people are just too invested in their privilege to even see it. Pull out my phone. Start looking at apartment listings. There have to be places out there. Communities where people actually care about these things. Where people want to be better. Find a listing for a women-only co-op. Feminist housing collective seeking conscious housemate. Perfect. Literally perfect. Send an inquiry email. Feel slightly better. These people aren't my community anyway. Never were. Monday evening, passing Mike in the hallway. He's got the laminated poster in his hands. He's taking it down. What are you doing? Removing this. We're going back to the old rules. You know, the normal ones. You can't just erase the work Jess, you're moving out. Your rules go with you. He crumples it up. Doesn't even carefully remove it from the wall. Just tears it down and crumples my hours of work into a ball. Tosses it in the recycling bin. There, democracy in action. He walks away. Stand there looking at the recycling bin. At my beautiful poster, crumpled and destroyed. Like everything I tried to build here. Whatever. I've got a video interview with the co-op tomorrow. These people are beneath me anyway. Later that night, hear all 3 of them in the living room. Laughing about something. Ordering food. Mike, you guys want burgers? Tyler, dude, yes, I'm starving. Sarah, get me whatever, I'm not picky. All the forbidden language. All the prohibited foods. They sound happy. They sound relieved. Like I was this weight they've finally lifted. But I was trying to help them. Trying to help them be better. They just couldn't see it. Scroll through apartment listings until 2 a.m. Find 3 more possibilities. All shared housing with explicit social justice frameworks. These are my people. Not Mike with his video games. Not Tyler with his bro friends. Not Sarah with her exhaustion she wears like a shield. People who actually want to grow. Fall asleep planning my new life. A life where people will finally appreciate what I'm trying to do. Where the work will be valued. Where I won't be the villain for caring about things that actually matter. They'll see. Eventually they'll see they were wrong. But by then I'll be long gone. Somewhere better. Somewhere that deserves me.